and welcome to another episode of Nerds Amalgamated. I am the DJ, and with me today is Buck.
Hello.
How's it going, Buck?
I'm marvelous.
Marvelous. Again, I love that. You love that word now.
It's a perfectly cromulent word.
I've liked it for a long time. It was made extra popular by the 12th Man and Richie Benno. How marvelous.
And the other voice you hear on the background is is my other co-host, the Professor.
Hello.
So, fellas, enjoying the second day of autumn?
I'm sick of the rain. I want to do my washing this weekend.
Well. Hey, given that it's the second day of autumn, we've got a 2319.
Oh.
For those who are truly into their animated movies, Monsters Inc. 2319. Human Presence.
There was a sock involved in that, wasn't there?
There was.
Yes.
With me today, I've got a very special guest for you guys. It's Sean Keenan, the director of Comics to Movies and creator of the comic book series XCT, with us.
G'day guys, how you going?
Fantastic.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Oh, what an episode today. We've got book review, Mad Max
review.
Well, I'm seeing from the show notes it's saying book review.
No, it's
Keep in mind that if the show notes are wrong, who wrote them?
Me.
Yeah.
So we got also Mad Max turning 40 and the PS5 VR AR. So, Bucky, you've got the first topic about the lady from the Black Lagoon.
Yes, and it's not a book review. So, get it right! We'll slap you afterwards. One of the most amazing ladies in Hollywood history that never seemed to truly get the respect and accolades that she deserved. There's a book been written about her, and I'm talking obviously about Millicent Patrick, for those who are unaware, who actually was the creator of the creatures of the Black Lagoon in the special effects makeup. And she was the first female animator at Disney, and it was after her discovery by Universal's Studios head of makeup, Bud Westmore. So, yeah, we have a book. We've got a book that's a biography, which talks about all of the different bits and pieces she went through, and lots of personal anecdotes. And it's actually, everything I've read on it so far has been amazing.
Did you ever watch the movie?
The Creature from the Black Lagoon, yeah.
Yeah. But wasn't there recently one of the actresses from that movie passed away? Wait, I think it was, give me a second, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Julie Adams, that's the one.
I was just going to say, we spoke about this the other day, and just a couple of weeks ago we were discussing about it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the truly sad thing with Milicent was, like, she was sexually harassed and expected to sleep with the bosses to get a job and that sort of stuff, which she wasn't doing. Like, she was accused that that's the only reason why she was getting the job, because that was what was expected in those days, rather than just appreciating the level of skill.
Yeah, I know. Do you reckon the industry's it's much more? It's not tough as it was back in the day.
It's probably just as tough. It's just there's laws protecting people from being forced to do disgusting things they don't want to.
I don't know. The Hollywood industry we already know. I think it's an open secret that Hollywood is a cesspool for all the crazy things that goes behind the scenes.
It's not a secret. It's pretty open and honest about it.
Yeah.
They admit themselves about how disgusting a place it is.
Yeah. I'm just reading her bio. I'm reading Millicent's bio on Wikipedia. She was also an actress.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting. Like, a song is born. She was uncredited. Most of the roles were uncredited, actually. Pretty.
like she's got credits for like Agent Brady McReynolds, Jabberwocky, and stuff like that. Like she's pretty amazing with a lot of the stuff that she's done. And yeah, it's just like this is a feminist slant on the Hollywood history, but it's one of those ladies that deserves a lot more credit than she received. So yeah, it's nice to see that there's an author out there that's turned around when she was as a teenager was inspired by Milicent, and was it by Milicent? Yeah. The book's by.
Is she still alive?
No, well, I haven't found that. I couldn't find that in my research. The book was written by Mallory O'Meara, who, as a teenager, she, after watching Creature from the Black Lagoon, was thrilled and inspired by the fact that the monster was designed by Milicent. So
she unfortunately, Sean, she died in 24th of February 1998.
So yeah, it's disappointing that when it comes to light, it always seems to be after the fact. It's a little bit disappointing that sometimes these people aren't recognised in life, and it's only afterwards that they finally get some sort of recognition or have a spotlight shined on it, like this biography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, because we're discussing the other week. Actually, this is one you'd probably enjoy. What was that? Comic was written by a woman.
Give me a second.
Scroll back through but yeah, we actually had a comic, Sean. It was one of the very first comics, and it had a female hero, and that's the reason why it was scrapped, because it was considered too racy and challenging because of the fact that it actually had a female hero back in the day. Because only like we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Black Fury, also known as Miss Fury. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Was that just last week?
No, that was a couple of weeks back. That was a couple of weeks back. Yeah.
There's so many amazing ladies that have just been overlooked and trashed because of the delicate egos of useless individuals.
The crazy thing about it is, as I said, that you're right that Hollywood's kind of the whole. It's not tough, but it's not as tough as it was back in the day. But you're right
Actually,
that
I said it is.
It is. Oh well, okay, my mistake. It's not as it is tough as it was back in the day, but you have laws and protections of protecting people. And that's amazing. Like I think.
Well, you've got the whole Me Too movement going on at the moment, which is showing the fact that up until now, there's still all this disgusting stupidity that's been going on.
And especially when you talk about like some pretty big stars as well, like Uma Thurman, like they weren't just actresses that had never done anything. Like it's a bit scary that it happened to people that were pretty much getting towards the height of their fame, and it was still happening to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's some of them are like it's just the whole situation is like, as an uncle, like I can tell you right now, if my nieces ever copped any of this sort of stuff or any of my friends ever had any hassles, I would absolutely destroy them.
You just got to meet Bucky once to know not to mess with his family.
Like, yeah, it's just, but people shouldn't be treating anyone in this manner. And yeah, it's nice to see that there is some recognition coming out to help support these people. So
it's just a bit of a shame, like, even with the comic industry, that even here in Australia, sometimes there's a bit of that tall poppy syndrome. It's like, you get a small amount of success and then everyone wants to bash you and knock you back down type of thing, rather than, celebrating and trying to push you forward. They want to tear you back down type of thing. So I just think everyone could just be a little bit nicer to one another, and I don't think it takes that much effort to hear someone's side of their story, and whether you agree with them or not, and just be a nicer person.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
I think I also agree with you, Sean, about the whole tall poppy syndrome. And in this day and age, that tall poppy, thanks to the internet, I think that whole tall poppy syndrome has kind of elevated to a whole new level in terms of you can get attacked on Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook.
Well, gone are the days where you had to confront someone face to face. You know, the only two forms of, or three forms of communication you used to have was either face to face, a telephone, or a letter.
Yep.
You know, type of thing. Now you can sit behind a keyboard, type something up, and it goes out to millions of people in a split second. And there's, still at the moment, I know there's laws coming in, but there's still really no ramifications for the amount of damage that you can do in such a short amount of time. And having a 2.5-year-old little girl, like, I'm worried in 5 to 6, 7, 8 years, how I protect her reputation, her her name and everything online, when I can take someone else from her filming her, or saying, or catching her saying something, or anything, and then just uploading that, and then so it's up there for forever.
Yeah, and there's also the whole part about context as well. Like, sometimes you might get you might take a take a party shot, and all of a sudden it will be taken out of context immediately by people saying, like, "Oh, what did you do here?" Like, "Oh, it was," and you have to explain yourself, like, "It was just a prank. It was just it wasn't."
No, it doesn't work anymore. In America, Panama City Beach in Florida, police actually charge to 12-year-old middle school students with cyber stalking and so forth. And I believe they will charge. That's it. It's a charge as an adult after a suicide.
Oh wow!
So yeah, after I'm just found the story here. 12-year-old Gabriella Green, known as Gabby, was found unresponsive at her home and pronounced dead at hospital. And the police, during their investigation, found out that she was being cyberbullied, and they looked at everything, and they've charged two 12-year-olds.
Sure.
And that's something it's not a, like, I can't say anything here about sentencing, but that's like a possible 25-year to life sort of sentencing, I think. So they'll be in jail as adults, so it'll be on their record for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I think I think Australia had a certain incident as well in terms of cyberbullying, as I recall. I think what was it? There was more. I think 12-year-old as well, and I think this happened in New South Wales, where some girl was harassed so badly to the point where she took her own life, and I think the Premier at the time said, "Okay, we're going to introduce some cyberbullying laws."
Not Premier.
Oh, my mistake.
It wasn't the release of a movie.
The Premier said, "We're going to introduce some new laws, some tougher cyberbullying laws, so it will never happen again."
But getting back on topic, the name of the book is The Lady from the Black Lagoon. Hollywood Monsters and the Lost Legacy of Millicent Patrick. Everything I've seen from this, and I've been able to read about it so far, has been absolutely amazing. It's 4.56 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and that's with 73 ratings, 42 reviews, some of whom I've gotten good reviews from before and I've enjoyed the books. And it's $17.70 on Amazon for the hardcover. So it's listed as being one of the most anticipated books of 2019. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting hold of it and chasing after it.
Nice.
Read some of the history that's not acknowledged, and learn about an amazing lady that helped make one of the most iconic movies of all time.
Nice. Okay, moving along. So next topic is mine, and it's Mad Max's 40th birthday.
Woohoo!
Man, I feel so old.
So now they're going to make middle-aged Max.
I thought Tom Hardy was middle-aged Max.
No. Mel Gibson was middle-aged Max.
Yeah, Tom Hardy's pretty young, isn't he?
The thing I like is that you guys have heard the story about how Mel Gibson got the role of Mad Max.
I think I have, but tell it to us again.
He was accompanying his friend who actually also appeared in Mad Max to the audition, and they were out partying and drinking all night, and Mel Gibson was beat up and hungover, and he was just trying to sleep in the waiting room, and the casting director saw him and goes, "We want you." And so he went in and read a little bit off the script, and that was it.
That was pretty quick. One heck of an audition.
Especially when you consider the fact he wasn't even originally meant to be there, and he hadn't been booked in for it. So yeah, I'm just trying to find the name of the guy who he was with at the time.
Maybe I should have turned up drunk to my job interviews.
In this day and age,
I think it was Steve Bisley or someone like that. It might have been. But yeah, like they'd been out drinking the night before and got into a punch up in the pub, and as typical Aussie blokes did back those days. And yeah, he's shot to stardom around the world based on that.
But yeah, a lot of Mad Max fans have traveled more than 16,000 kilometers from northeast Pennsylvania in the United States to visit the place where Mad Max was filmed. At the Pilgrim, it's at Central Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And to quote one person that's traveled there, to quote, when the movie came to our country in 1979, I just simply fell in love with the country, the cars, and the culture. So I just started reading about your country, fell in love with it, and I said, I have to go.
Mm-hmm. Although looking at some of the pictures in this article, I think they got some of the stuff from Thunderdome here.
But it was, I don't know, Mad Max. I know it's amazing how Mad Max, till this day, has a lot of, has given an impact till this day.
But it was such an amazing movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends, he actually works with a lot of the guys that were in the original Mad Max film.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just added a link there to the Kickstarter that he had ran not that long ago about a Mad Max fan magazine. So yeah, it was a cool bunch of collectibles, brand new artwork for it and everything like that. It's got all different interviews about the behind the scenes from actual people that were in the films and all that type of stuff. So I'm not sure whether you can still get your hands from him, but if you're a Mad Max fan, that's a pretty cool thing to have in your collection.
It would be.
Okay, got a question for you. Which one was your favorite Mad Max movies?
Beyond the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome?
Road Warrior.
Ooh.
So I think that's number two's names, but yeah. Number one and number two, you can watch them back to back, and they're great movies. Beyond Thunderdome, it was alright. I enjoyed the first two more though.
Yeah, that launched Tina Turner even more. Beyond Thunderdome.
Pardon?
What?
She was massive before that.
Like, that's as bad as. I've told you the story about someone saying, "Oh yeah, that Paul McCartney guy's career's going to take off now. He's done a song with Kanye." You've just done the exact same thing. Like, I'm sorry, but
I don't know. Gosh. After Tina. Okay, Tina Turner after Thunderdome, a lot of people will still remember her as she's the lady from Beyond Thunderdome. Simply the.
No. More people remember her as from Icon Tina Turner. Have you heard the song Nutbush City Limits? Proud Mary. I could keep going, but the more I do, the more it's embarrassing it's going to be for you.
What about you, Professor? What's your favorite Mad Max movie?
A tie between Road Warrior and Fury Road.
Oh, nice. mine would just be Fury Road because that's the only Mad Max movie I've seen so far. And I will say Fury Road, that blew me away.
If you go watch the first ones, you'll understand the reason why I'm iffy about Fury Road, and I don't actually classify it as a Mad Max movie.
Yeah, all right. I'll take it. I'll take your word for it. I might check him out. Although I will say, with Fury Road, I saw the movie version and I've seen the black and white edition, and I will say it's not really called the black and white edition. They call it the black and chrome edition. It looks really nice, black and chrome.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just converted to black and white, though, is it?
Yeah.
It's still a very impressive movie. And
it's an impressive movie.
Still works even without dialogue and in black and white.
Yeah,
I'm not attacking the movie. It's just It's just not a Mad Max movie. It's Mad Max, but it's not truly a Mad Max movie. There's just a polar shift, and it's just not quite the same.
Yeah, imagine
it's a shame that George Miller's caught up in this legal stuff with Warner Brothers, so he can't make the fifth movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought he said I'm reading an article here saying that Miller reaffirmed his intent to continue the franchise after reports to the contrary surfaced following an interview in 2016.
Oh yeah, he wants to keep doing it, but he's had so much trouble with Warner Brothers that I think that's probably delayed it a fair bit.
Yeah. We reckon. So you reckon Tom Hardy should continue his work as Max?
Well, you can't get Mel Gibson to do it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. I could actually picture Mel Gibson as an old Mad Max, because at the end of Thunderdome, he's already an old man.
Oh yeah, he's not as old as I was thinking.
And it started off where he was, I don't know, it's supposed to be in his late 20s, early 30s or something in the first one.
I'd prefer to see Mel Gibson come back.
Yeah, and they've got to do. I don't know how they would manage it, but they've got to have the one of the most iconic scenes, which is the hand in the chain hanging off the back of a vehicle, which was from movie number 1.
Okay. The interesting part with Mad Max: The Fury Road was also Charlize Theron. Like Charlize Theron in that movie, she was great in that movie. She played a good role.
Yeah, but it's still not a Mad Max movie.
Okay, yeah, I can see.
It's just one of those things. I'm sorry. It's just
you're not sold on the idea, are you?
It's just not there. It's not truly a Mad Max movie. It's a post-apocalyptic world and everything. Yeah, and there's cars, and it's kind of beyond Thunderdome, but it's not the same as It's not truly Mad Max. It's missing that key quality that the first, especially for the first two, and it was there in the third. That was Mad Max.
And Charlize Theron almost stole the show in that movie. The movie ended up, I felt, being more about her and her redemption than it did about Mad Max's.
Like, he was only a side character.
Yeah. I was not a huge fan of of Fury Road. I kind of just laughed in certain points. I thought it was a bit, laughable. Yeah. I think there's an article saying that there's actually only 180 lines of dialogue through the whole movie or something ridiculous like that. Like, it was just, lots of cars and visually spectacular more than an actual good story or movie.
And that's the thing with Mad Max 1 and 2 and Beyond Thunderdome. There was an actual proper storyline. There was lots of dialogue, and there was the cheeky Australian humour in it and all that sort of stuff that it's just not there in Fury Road. Like Fury Road, it's a great movie, as I said, but it doesn't have that quintessential Australian identity and the Mad Max bloodline. Like, even if it was,
if they filmed it here again.
Well, they couldn't because of the weather, apparently, so they had to film it in South Africa. But
that was right after the 2011 floods.
but there's so much other stuff that is just fails on because of like the characters and so forth just don't have the same nuances. Like you had like so much rich character out of all the different characters that appeared. Like even the kids in Thunderdome and so forth, they had it was just you sit there looking at it and you're just going, this is typically an Australian. You could actually picture this happening in Australia. Fury Road, you're just looking, you're just going, what drugs were these people on?
Yeah, well, I was just having that look at that link that DJ's just put up with the dialogue. Max only had 63 lines of dialogue in the whole film. Ferosa only had 80 lines, and the script came all in under 5,000 words. That's less than what my high school projects.
I've got
Yeah.
I got assignments that have got more words than that.
Oh, but I will say this. Besides they've also some of the fans also restored a couple of the old cars instead. So for example,
Well, no. Oh, they might have restored some cars
yeah,
that are similar. I can't. I think it was in number. Can't remember whether it was from number 1 or number 2. All the cars were supposed to be scrapped. It was number 2 because it was filmed at Broken Hill, and all the cars were supposed to be scrapped. And they took them to the scrapyard, and there was a couple of them that were in pretty much perfect nick. And the guy just looked at them and goes, "Yeah, I'll scrap them." "Oh, hell, I will." And so he was actually just he had one that he was driving around, but he had another one that he put in a shed and covered up. And yeah, it's
Again, that's such an Aussie thing to do, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, just leave with me. I'll get rid of it. No problem. Straight to garage.
Like they were amazing cars. Like they've got you got here. You're saying I'm looking at your pit that you're looking at, and it's they drove replicas because the Interceptor, as it was a car that was made especially for the movie, where they took Fords and they put special engines in them and tuned them up. So yeah,
the big intake actually doesn't work. The effect they get with the fans spinning up when they want to go turbo mode and all that, it's just special effects. They just hooked up a fan to a switch.
Yeah, which is a typically Aussie thing to do. It doesn't do anything, mate, but it looks real sweet. And like Mad Max is such an iconic film. What's his name? Quentin Tarantino saw Mad Max. Like he says, a lot of his inspiration for his movies is based on Australian movies because he watched stuff like Mad Max, Razorback, stuff like that, and it was just like these movies are cool. Like the way he said it in an interview when he was looking at some of the stuff. He was sitting in the cinema and he had an orgasm while watching Mad Max because it was the most amazing movie he's ever seen. The car crashes,
Quentin.
the car crash scenes and stuff where I think it was what's his name, Jeff Bisley or whatever his name was, would end up in hospital. In real life, he ended up in hospital because the car, wasn't Beasley, but the stuntman who was driving the car. They rolled the car for real. Everything was going good, but then and there's the scene where they drive through another vehicle and destroy stuff. It's literally the most insane amount of action. So you've got to watch all of the first 3 movies in order, and you will understand the reason why I'm getting excited.
All right, moving along. The Professor, you have a topic about the PS5 and its new additions such as VR and AR.
Well, you're reading a bit much into this again, but a developer from Tazara Studios, who have made PSVR games. Oh, I'm so tired. But anyway, this developer is leaking that the PSVR. He thinks that the PSVR will be a main part of the PS5. because when the PS4 came out and PSVR was added halfway through the life cycle. But now they'll be ready for a PSVR 2, which could be a launch feature. I'm not convinced though. I fully expect it to end up like the Kinect. They'll be like, it'll be a launch feature. It'll come with every console, and no one will buy the consoles that have it because it'll add an extra $300 to the price.
Uh,
Why don't they just launch a PSVR on its own?
Probably to push people into buying PS5 that comes
yeah,
out.
it'd be like a bundle offer saying like, for the extra price of $50, you can have this PSVR.
Like the Xbox Connect when that came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just thinking like you could do the PS5, then you could also do a PlayStation virtual reality, which there's obviously a market that's growing for virtual reality, and it's going to give them the opportunity to do some pretty cool things. And the amount of gear, because you could have the gloves and as well as the helmet and so forth, so you could have proper VR instead of half-assed.
Yep. Bring it in
Yeah.
line with the PC VR. Maybe
Yeah.
convert to inside-out tracking, or improve the base stations so that you can actually take the controllers behind your back and turn around 360.
Yeah.
A lot of what's interesting though is a lot of people are banking on the fact that VR is going to be the next biggest thing that's going to
Well,
happen.
It's something that's been getting looked forward to since before I was born. It's one of those science fiction things that everyone wants to eventually happen. The same as hologram technology. It's exciting.
And automatic doors.
The automatic doors, yes.
But they have to explain how pleased they are to function as doors for you every time you go through them.
Exactly.
But do you reckon it will work out in the end though? Could you see yourself playing VR?
Absolutely, but I don't think it's going to leave the enthusiast space for quite a while. I think you'll probably end up with enthusiast home consoles, and I think there's a couple of places in Brisbane that do it, but I think you'll see more. I don't know what you call them, but VR centers where sort of like internet cafes.
Oh yeah.
You
Like
go
the old
and,
games arcades. There'll be
yeah.
VR arcades.
Yeah, so you go and get in a booth with a VR kit and play games for a couple of hours.
I've done that a couple of times with my mates.
Oh, there you
Huh?
go. See, it's already starting to happen.
There's several here in Victoria or Melbourne, but yeah, I go to one in Carlton. So you go with there's usually between 3 and 4 of us. We all go into a game that's 4-player. So I can't even remember what it was called, but it's like Elf Kingdom where you're all trying to defend a castle, and you got these hordes of orcs coming in, and you're continually having to pull your arms back as if you're shooting a bow and arrow, and you have to duck and all that type of stuff. So, and it's a full 360 game. So, but man, like after playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If they did something like that in full 360 VR, oh my lord, man, I'd never go to work again in my life.
Oh, that is he's very enthusiastic there, Sean. Very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical of VR, especially because I wear glasses and I don't really wear contacts. So I was wondering how that would work, but I tell you what, some of these centers, if you haven't been, get along. It's still a little bit expensive at the moment. It's about I think $70 or $80 for an hour. But it is quite fun. Like if you've got a bunch of mates that you can go along with, it is almost better than like laser tag. Like it's like a virtual reality laser tag type thing. You're all in there against each other or fighting with each other back to back type of thing. So
Just out of curiosity, because you said it was at Carlton and you went with a group of friends,
Yep.
Now, that was because it was you wanted to play with your group of friends, or you needed a group of friends for safety while traveling around Carlton.
No. It was right in Chapel Street, so up the nice end, not too bad. So yeah, no.
So where the Carlton crew used to hang out.
Yeah, that's it. Right across from
Right.
La Porchetta, where Bells would hang out and all that. Just
So
chilling,
the
having a
centre of
beer.
organised crime in Carlton.
Yeah, of course.
So in other words, yes, you do need a group of friends to go with, just to make sure you're safe.
So you can run from your car to the no.
The thing is, if you're in VR, you don't know if someone's going to mug you.
That's why it's on the second floor, mate. So that you can hear them coming up the stairs.
But this is Australia. Organised crime in Australia is like England. It's organised. It's not American.
But the other interesting thing with this whole PS5 VR is everyone's really hyped toward the PS5 because I've heard a lot of interesting things with the PS5 in terms of it'll be backwards compatible in terms of you can play the PS1, PS2, PS3, and the PS4 games apparently.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, they filed the patent for that.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. If they can get it running decently well, it would be nice to have an official emulation solution.
And hopefully Microsoft and Xbox will not do the stupidity that they did when the PS4 was being released with all the legal shenanigans, which actually backfired on them.
Or the presentation at E3 where they're like, we're going to have Kinect always listening to you, and you're not going to be able to trade your games because we're going to tie them to your account. And then the next day, or the next show was Sony announcing PS4 and saying, we're totally not doing any of that.
Yeah.
Remember the old PlayStation iToy and how that was a thing?
Yeah, that was a fun thing.
Hey, I still remember playing on the original PlayStation for days at a time.
I've still got one.
Final Fantasy VIII,
my fridge
baby.
out there. My fridge? What?
Oh, Final Fantasy.
I'm too tired. I just said my PlayStation's hooked up to my fridge.
You were saying there, Sean?
Final Fantasy VIII. That was my jam on the PlayStation 1. So, but man, I'm old. I can remember playing the Nintendo, the Commodore 64 before that. The original Batman game on the 64, and then even the Atari, a bit of Pong before that. That's
Do you remember playing the original Donkey Kong on the fold open Nintendo?
Yes.
Handheld games.
Handheld, yep.
And here we go, test of your age, because you said Pong, but do you remember playing Moon Buggy and Space Invader at the corner store when it was 3 games for 30 cents?
No, I was the 40-cent game man. So
Okay.
I was Wonder Boy.
Ah, yes.
And I was Ghouls and Ghosts, and I was 40 cents.
Yes.
So what was your first Atari?
It was my auntie's boyfriend's at the time. So I can't even remember what games we had on that. So I must have been pretty young. I would have been about 6, I reckon, maybe 7.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been restoring a 2600 from my mate over the last few days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was a sucker. I went out and bought all the remodeled, Super Nintendos, Nintendo, all that. I was one of those suckers that went out and got them. Just to have a walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you? I bet you you all have like old PlayStation 1 games and PlayStation 2 games in the cupboard somewhere.
No, I got rid of both of mine. So I've got original Xbox. But yeah, that's it. I actually sold all. I had a Sega Master System, Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Sold all of that. The Commodore 64, the Atari. Yeah, so all I've got is a Xbox One, and a PS3. I don't even think I've got a PS4 now. PS3.
Yeah, I gave my original PlayStation to a mate of mine with the 100 and something games that I had for it when I bought a PS2. And then when I got a PS3, I actually traded in the PS2 with all the games as when I bought it. And I've got the PS4 now, and I gave the PS3 to my brother for him and the kids, and gave them all the games. So I kept all the metal books and artwork, like any of the artwork stuff and extras that I had from that. But yeah.
Nice.
So I've only got the one console and a laptop.
Awesome. I have a PlayStation 2, 3, and a 4. I was tempted to get the PS4, but then I decided, I'm going to stick with my PlayStation 4 for now and then wait for the PlayStation 5.
You didn't get a PS4 because you had a PlayStation 4.
You just said I was tempted to get the PlayStation 4.
No, PlayStation Pro.
PlayStation 4. So.
A PlayStation 4 Pro. I meant, it's my mistake.
Come on, DJ. Come on, mate.
Anyways, so moving along to our next category, that is the games currently playing, and Professor, me and Buck, we've been playing a very fun game. Apex Legends. My God, that's a fun game.
Well, I'm upset because I can't shoot you.
I'm upset I can't shoot you either.
You know the Gibraltar's airstrike, friendly fire.
He's found a way. Oh dear God.
You'll laugh. The latest game that I've played is Jedi Knight Academy, which was a free download with Xbox Gold. So I was playing that the other night.
Oh.
That's an old one, isn't it?
Oldie but a goodie, mate.
Yep.
But I'm sure if you do have the chance, you should check out Apex Legends. It's not Fortnite, but it's just addictive. It's as addictive as Fortnite.
How do you know you never played Fortnite?
I played it once, and I did once. I played one game of Fortnite, and I just went, nah, screw this. I'm not playing it. I just got lost in the atmosphere. I just couldn't play that at all.
So when you say the atmosphere, are you talking about all the language and so forth that got it banned in China?
The language, the controls. There was no hints like what you get in Apex Legends, where there would be like hints on what to pick up and what the controls, where to go, and stuff like this. There are little subtle parts.
There were lots of people telling you where to go.
I meant to not in Fortnite though. In Fortnite, you don't even get that at all. But yeah, Fortnite is just Fortnite. I don't know. I think its days are numbered. Its days are getting numbered.
Well, especially since it's been banned in China.
Oh yeah,
it's
sure.
2 years old, and that's just what happens to games that are 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you lose more than 50% of your market share that are playing it.
Yeah, all those Chinese hackers had to move over to PUBG.
Not hackers. And PUBG was banned in China as well, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah,
I think it was.
And they weren't hackers, they just had better computer systems. Remember? The lady told us so.
But my God, it's a good multiplayer game. If you want some time passing, it's a good multiplayer game.
And it's
They weren't the same Chinese guys that were looking at our government files but didn't take anything.
Well, we're not saying that it was, and we're not saying it wasn't. We don't know because we don't want the Chinese coming into our homes in the middle of the night.
I have nothing negative to say about Xi Jinping.
The Chinese are a lovely people.
Oh, they made some great food.
My brother's going over there soon. Maybe if I say enough nasty things, they'll kidnap him.
Nah. I'll treat him really well, so when he comes back, he's even meaner and nastier to you.
Oh.
Haven't you watched any of those old Kung Fu movies? the guy who gets bullied is always the one who becomes the hero and beats up the big bad guy.
Oh man. Before we start another international incident with the two governments, yeah, we've got some shout outs. So 24th of February 2019, congratulations to all the Oscar winners. Yay. I love the enthusiasm. So yeah, some good movies were won, like Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek won Best Actor for that. Good
Okay,
on him.
it's a shout out. Let's move on.
Professor,
But,
you want to say something
yeah.
about the Oscars being stolen?
Yes, it was 1923, I believe. Just trying to pull up the link I had for it. And, the Oscar, one of the Oscars was stolen. Alice Brady, here it is. 1937.
Yeah.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role for In Old Chicago. Alice Brady couldn't make it to the ceremony, so someone went there pretending to be her representative, picked up the Oscar, and then completely vanished.
So much for the term, it got lost in transit.
What?
Yeah, what?
You never heard that term? Like something got lost in transit?
Yeah, but it didn't
Yeah.
get lost in transit. It got stolen from under their noses.
You're doing well tonight, DJ.
But we've got an article in the show notes with a couple of other missing Oscar cases.
They're not cheap they're not cheap, are they? Just if you lose an Oscar, it's not cheap, is it?
Yeah, you can just get a $10 one from the Chinese theatre, mate.
Yeah.
Cheap as.
And better because it's probably even made in China.
Yeah, of course.
Do they custom engrave your name into it?
You can get whatever engraved to it. You can have like best porn performer, whatever tickles your fancy.
You are speaking from experience here, I see.
I say nothing.
I keep that in mind in case I ever go back to LA.
Alright, so
Yeah, you
26.
walk in, I go, you're from Australia, aren't you?
Alright, 26th of February 1935, the radar, which is an acronym for Radio Detection and Ranging, first demonstrated by Robert Watson Watt. And that was the key. What? and that's how the Allies won against the Germans in World War II.
No, it was the carrots.
And
Which is actually
Inglorious Bastards.
Hey!
The carrots.
it was the
Carrots
Americans.
being good for your eyesight was a propaganda campaign to conceal the radar.
And it was also the the carrot thing was just to get people to eat carrots because they needed veggies and because everything was on rations. But it wasn't because that didn't win the war. It was the Americans and John Wayne and all those guys. They won the war single-handedly every single time. That's the reason why they lost Vietnam, because they didn't have John Wayne making Vietnam movies. Well, he made Singapore and Korea.
Yeah.
That sounds like a reasonable interpretation of history.
It works for the Americans. They think Australia's part of Europe.
Well, so does Europe.
Well, we are in Eurovision.
Oh, no, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
But hey, don't pick on Eurovision. That's fun. And Kate Miller-Heidke, go girl, QUT alumni. Woo!
Is that our entrant for this year?
Yes.
Cool.
And I have to say that the snippet of performance that I saw looks as epically weird as a lot of the stuff that you see for Eurovision, so it's going to fit right in.
That's good. No more Guy Sebastian.
Guy Sebastian didn't do too bad. His song I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, he's
Was
a good
better than-
singer, but like his performance, it was like, come on, man, like do something cool. Like, you know, you hang around Lady Gaga and that, you can't think of anything better than just getting up and singing. Like, seriously.
It worked. He came second.
He didn't win.
I think that was
No prize for second, mate. That's what I'm telling my daughter.
Ash.
No participation trophies here. We don't let them inside this house.
Yeah, but there's such a thing as a silver medal.
But it's not as shiny as a gold one, so it doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Always means you're second best, and my daughter's never going to be second best.
Okay.
Spoken like a good father. Anyways, 29th of February, 1504, crafty Columbus plays a leap year trick. Many people born on February 29th curse their luck. But it can also bring luck and benefits, as explorer Christopher Columbus demonstrated over 400 years ago.
Do you know what the trick was?
Enlighten me.
Oh, you were just saying about it. Do you know what it was?
Nope.
It was actually a solar eclipse. So as he was coming into the island of the West Indies and Jamaica and all that, he was having problems, and it was a solar eclipse at the time, so he used that to scare them.
Oh, yeah. I think
Lunar eclipse, sorry, not solar eclipse, which occurred on Thursday, February 29th, 1504. So, yeah, facing starvation, he came up with an ingenious plan, and, yeah, he told them that his Christian God was angry and would stop them, the food and everything, because of his anger. And so he would make it. So, yeah.
Oh, you were saying, Professor?
That's literally the plot of a Tintin comic as well.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
This is where they got the idea from. It's also out of, what's his name? King Solomon's Mines. So, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got some remembrances. So 21st of February 2019, Stanley Donen, American film director and choreographer who most celebrated works are On the Town in 1949 and Singing in the Rain 1952, both of which starred Gene Kelly, who co-directed. His other films include Royal Wedding in 1951, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers 1954, Funny Face 1957, Indiscreet 1958, and Charade 1963. He died of heart failure at 94 in New York City. 21st of February 2019, Peter Halston Thorkelson, or Peter Tork, was an American musician, composer, and actor, best known as the keyboardist and bass guitarist of the Monkees. He died from complications of a rare cancer known as the adenoid cystic carcinoma, a rare, slow-growing form of head and neck cancer at 77 in Mansfield, Connecticut. Oh man, I'm going to miss those monkey songs now.
Hey, hey, we're the monkeys.
Oh
we
man,
don't monkey around. We're too busy singing.
Oh, I'm going to miss those. I used to remember the old shows.
You can still you can go buy the DVDs and listen to the songs.
Yeah.
He hasn't sang them for a while. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh no, they were still doing. They were still touring up until last year, at least.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because there's him and who was the drummer? Mike, was that Mikey? They still do shows
Mikey
around
was
the
the
place.
front.
No, that was Davey.
Sorry, yeah.
But
David Bowie changed his name because he didn't want to be confused with Davy Jones of the Monkees.
Probably. But when they actually formed the Monkees, it was only Mikey who was the only real proper musician who was actually successful at the time, and he wrote most of their songs.
Yeah, the musical. So, and they had the actor.
You know?
Yeah, and the actor is Davy Jones. Yeah, man, I used to love the old Monkey show they showed on Channel 9 years ago.
It's been on every channel.
There is?
Yeah, it was on ABC when I was growing up.
Ah, okay.
Channel 7 and Channel 10.
Yeah, man.
It's even been on Prime TV for those that are listening in a regional area.
25th of February 2019, Megan Olbach, American voice actress known for her extensive work with English dubbing. The actress worked with Funimation Animation for 13 years and brought her voice to dozens of titles. Most notable series such as Evangelion 1.0, You Are Not Alone, One Piece, Fairy Tail, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, A Certain Magical Index, Princess Jellyfish, and many more. Died on 22nd of January 2019 with no known causes of death. So sad. And this came in earlier today, but an actress from Who's the Boss passed away today. Let me get the article. It's someone Helford. She was Alyssa Milano might remember. Oh, yeah, here we are. Catherine Hellman. She died at the age of 89, and she was famous for works in Who's the Boss and in Cars, the movie, as Lizzie. So sad. Anyways, on to our next one, which is the birthdays. So we've got 26th of February 1802, Victor Hugo, the French poet, novelist, and dramaticist of the Romantic movement. Hugo is one of the greatest and best-known French writers. Outside France, his most famous works are Les Miserables. Les Miserables. My mistake. Les Miserables, 1862, and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, also in which French for Notre Dame de Paris, in 1831. Born in, I'm gonna butcher this name, Bessenon Doubs.
Bessenon Diop.
Okay, there you have it. 26th of February 1908, Tex Avery, American animator, director, cartoonist, and voice actor known for producing and directing animated cartoons during the golden age of American animation. His most significant work was for the Warner Brothers and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios, where he was crucial in the creation and evolution of famous animated characters such as Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd, Droopy, Screwy Squirrel, George and Junior, and Chili Willy. Born in Taylor, Texas.
That's all, folks.
That's one of the less impressive Porky Pig impersonations I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Warner Brothers, if you're looking for a Porky Pig impersonator, you've got him.
Are you telling me into slavery now? I don't know.
28th of February 1901, Linus Pauling, American chemist, biochemist, peace activist, author, educator, and husband of American human rights activist Eva Helen Pauling. He published more than 1,200 papers and books, of which about 850 dealt with scientific topics. Pauling was one of the founders of the field of quantum chemistry and molecular biology. In his later years, he promoted nuclear disarmament as well as orthomolecular medicine, megavitamin therapy, and dietary supplements. For his scientific work, Pauling was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954. For his peace activism, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1962. That's an achievement. That's an amazing achievement for winning two Nobel Prizes.
Well, the prize and the Peace Prize, so two separate countries.
You mean two separate awards?
Yeah, but they're from two separate countries as well. The Nobel Prize and the Nobel Peace Prize are different organisations.
Ah.
Yep.
Okay.
One of them was awarded in Oslo.
We've discussed this before, remember?
Yeah, we did. I just wanted to let the audience know. So he's one of the four individuals to win more than one Nobel Prize, and yeah, he's also one of the only people that's awarded two unshared Nobel Prizes. One of the only two to be awarded Nobel Prizes in different fields, other than Marie Curie, born in Portland, Oregon. Quite an achievement.
Yeah, he got around.
He was an amazingly epic person.
Yeah. Now to the events of interest. 26th of February, 1616, Galileo Galilei is formally banned by the Roman Catholic Church for teaching or defending the view that the Earth orbits around the Sun. So many there, and I bet you right now I wonder what's his view on flat Earth.
Well, he disproved flat Earth. He said it was wrong by saying the Earth orbits the Sun.
26th of February, 1952, Prime Minister Winston Churchill announces Great Britain has developed its own atomic bomb. 26th of February 1949, Lady Luck 2, a B-50 Superfortress, begins the non-stop flight around the world from Carswell Air Force Base in Fort Worth, Texas.
Although they didn't do a very good job of it because they stayed fairly high up in the northern latitudes.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon to count as going around the world, you need to do it closer to the equator.
There hasn't been. Oh,
Well, if you go to the pole and take 2 steps away, then walk in a circle, you've walked around the world.
wow, that would be funny. Okay, that would be funny if that actually happened.
I'm sure someone's done it.
Dick Smith did it a number of years ago in a helicopter. He flew to the South Pole, and while he was down there, he did a couple of laps around the world. Just so he could pay.
And finally,
How many kids does Dick Smith have? Because that's a hell of a dad joke.
I don't know, but I remember laughing at it at the time.
And finally, 29th of February 1940, Hattie McDaniel became the first African-American woman to win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Gone with the Wind, the first Academy Award won by an African-American entertainer. And interestingly enough, she was immortalized in a 39-cent stamp with that same dress that she wore at the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, do you got anything else to add in, fellas, before we close the show?
Actually, Sean, have you got anything new that you have in the works? Any new comics that you have got popping out or anything?
Yeah, definitely. So at the moment, I've got our latest issue in the XCT series up on Kickstarter. So it's called XCT Breakout. It's a 64-page graphic novel. So we've kind of moved away from single issues and we're just doing graphic novels now. So we are looking to raise about $4,000 to help with the printing costs. So there's 18 days left of that to go. So we're at 101 backers at the moment, which is fantastic. So yeah, if anyone's interested in trying out a series, it's a great jumping on point if you haven't read up to this point, because it starts off a new story arc. So yeah, so we've got that. We've got Terra Olympus. Since the last time I was on the phone, we released Terra Olympus, which was a sci-fi graphic novel, so you can get that from our website at comicstomovies.com.au. And yeah, we'll just be heading to the Supernova shows in April with a bunch of new limited edition prints as well. So been pretty busy in the in that off season. So yeah.
Awesome.
Nice. So you got a lot of stuff to work on. Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll hopefully have come back on closer. I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con. I might have a little exclusive to share with you guys at a later date.
Ooh, I'm really hyped for that. Anything else, Buck, Professor? Anything else?
No.
Nothing else? All right, that's the show for tonight. Thank you for listening. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, that'snotcanon.com website. You can also find some beautiful merch there, like coffee mugs, sippy cups, t-shirts.
Sippy cups?
Well, yes, sippy cups.
What?
Like travel mugs.
Travel mugs aren't
Give sippy cups to babies.
I thought I'm thinking of something else.
Are you a baby, DJ?
No.
Because I'm pretty sure this podcast isn't rated suitable for babies.
So you can also find us on Stitcher. You can also find us on Facebook at our Facebook page. You can also find us on Twitter at @namalgamated. That is at @namalgamated. If you have any questions or comments that you want to leave behind, send us an email at nerds.amalgamated@gmail.com. And from all of us, see you guys.
Hooroo.
See you later,
See you
guys.
next week.
Here